Good morning, everyone. This is Barrett Smith, service hydrologist with the National Weather Service in Raleigh, and welcome to the Thursday edition of our weekly briefing. The weather that we'll cover in just a moment will be from April the 27th through next week, May the 3rd. But I'm going to start out with just a couple of news items that Nick Peter, our warning coordination meteorologist, wanted me to cover. For those of you that are on our mailing list, these items will be in your email if you have not already seen them. But first, our radar, KRAX, is back up and spinning today. It had been down for about a week and a half for a service life extension program update. And so we're happy to say that's back up and going. It's going through some testing at the moment, but we do not expect any more downtime. So kudos to everyone who's been involved in that, and thank you all for your patience as we work through that. The second item is Hurricane Preparedness Week. National and in North Carolina will be next week, April 30th through May the 6th. The season starts in early June, so we're a little over a month away, and of course preparation is important each and every year. So there'll be a number of activities and information being sent out about Hurricane Preparedness Week. Again, that is next week. And then finally, there is a regional tropical training and exercise workshop that's going to be held down in around the Columbia area in South Carolina. The registration is still open for that for a few more days. And so again, information in your email if you're on our email list, and that's something that you would be interested and able to go to, you can check that out. So without any further delay, let's get into the weather. We got a busy weekend and early week next week ahead of us. First of all, our latest drought update from our partners down at the climate office. You'll notice a pretty white map around North Carolina. Not a lot of drought or problems. A little bit of a D1 up in the northeastern part of the state, but for central North Carolina, we've been relatively wet over the past few weeks, and things are in pretty good shape. There are some indications out in the western part of the state that things are drying a little more. Hopefully the rainfall this weekend will help that out, and we could end up with a nearly clean map next week. All right, so getting into the weather, you probably noticed light rain over the last day or so. It's been, a little heavy at times. We had some heavy reports down the South Carolina border area, but we've got some rain out to the west that's associated with an area of low pressure that's going to cross our region tonight and then depart during the day tomorrow. So we'll see rain overspread the area this evening and really continue through the overnight hours, and then kind of come to an end early tomorrow morning. But with the front behind that dropping down, we'll see some additional showers and thunderstorms possible even tomorrow afternoon and into the evening. Once that gets out of here, we're looking at a mostly dry Saturday. I know we've had rain almost every single weekend for the past 5 or 6 weeks, I believe. So everyone's, much desire for a dry weekend. We're not going to get it this weekend, but Saturday may be relatively dry. There's another area of low pressure that moves in late Saturday and into Sunday, so we'll see rain spread back across the region on Sunday. And then finally, that will move out of here by Monday, and it does look like most of next week will be relatively dry. Looking at the rainfall associated with these two events that I'm talking about, again, rain moving in tonight and tomorrow. Looks like it'll be heaviest out in the western half of the state, so the western Piedmont could see somewhere around an inch of rainfall. As you head east, more into the Piedmont and the coastal plain, tonight those rainfall totals could be a bit less. Again, we'll see some showers and thunderstorms developing maybe tomorrow afternoon, and that could bring some additional locally heavy rainfall. Dry on most of Saturday night and into Sunday, another round of rainfall. That could actually shift and be a little bit heavier across the eastern half of the state before it moves out of here on Monday. So those 5-day rainfall totals are a bit more uniform. Again, the heaviest out in the western half of the state, western Piedmont, where we could end up with maybe around 2 inches of rain in total from the two events, and lesser amounts around maybe 1 to 1.5 inches in the eastern half of the state. I mentioned the chance for thunderstorms. While there could be some thunder tonight embedded within the rain, we're looking at tomorrow afternoon and evening with a chance of a marginal risk. That's our level 1 of 5 of severe storms. Right now, confidence is still relatively low on that. It would be isolated, and it will be kind of dependent on what happens tonight with the rainfall. But again, the best chances of severe weather could end up being tomorrow afternoon and into tomorrow evening. Then with the next system on Sunday, again, another chance of thunderstorms with that. Confidence remains low in how unstable we'll get, but there is a chance that we could see some thunderstorms again embedded within that larger shield of rain on Sunday. So 2 chances of thunderstorms, not a lot of confidence at the moment in exact details of that, but stay tuned, and we'll be providing updates. As far as rainfall and potential for flooding, none of the excessive rainfall maps for today, tomorrow, and Saturday, and really even into Sunday, show the potential for excessive rain and flooding. However, we have been wet over the past several weeks, especially in the US 1 corridor from, say, Laurinburg up through Raleigh towards the Roanoke Rapids region. And with another 1 to 3 inches expected, certainly as possible, we could see some isolated flooding in low-lying and poor drainage areas. No river flooding is expected at the moment. But again, it has been wet, and we are looking at 2 rounds of rainfall, so I would not count out some isolated flooding in some areas. Once all that rain is out of here for the weekend, it does look like next week will be a bit better in terms of some drier weather, a chance for us to dry out, folks to get back out and enjoy outdoor activities. But it does look like with this strong system moving through, we will be back below normal for temperatures next week. Again, our normal temperatures now are up into the upper 70s with our overnight lows in the 50s. So would not be surprising in next week if we're talking about some upper 60s and lower 70s for high temperatures, but dry. And then finally, looking out a little bit further out towards past May the 4th, again, below normal temperatures continuing in this pattern, but we see equal chances for above or below normal rainfall, and it will eventually get back to the point where we'll have some weather systems moving through. So moving along into a summary, again, it's an unsettled pattern this weekend, multiple chances of rainfall, nothing particularly hazardous, but there certainly is the chance that we could see a storm here or there, and we can't rule out the potential for severe weather, mainly tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. And again, there could be some flooding in low-lying and poor drainage areas as we get through all of this unsettled weather. Once we get to Monday, things should dry out. We'll be back below normal in terms of our temperatures. But cross our fingers, we can get to next weekend and maybe have a completely dry weekend. So we appreciate you all joining us today for our weekly weather briefing. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and we'll certainly be talking to you next Monday.